Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Tonight, we have with us one of our city councilors in Dumaguete City. We have the concurrent city councilor of Dumaguete, Councilor Manuel C. Patrimonio. Mayang gabi, sir.
Mayang gabi, Dr. Dok Dinno, and mayang gabi sa Dakbayan sa Dumaguete.
Thank you, sir, for being part of this program, for being my guest tonight, sir. No? Dugay-dugay na na amo kag-ibitar, but thank you for allowing us to talk to you this tonight and for you to guest in our episode of Let's Talk.
Yeah, it's a great honor, Doctor.
Councilor, for my first question, you are considered as among one of the more seasoned, no? Hindi ko sasabihin na pinaka magulang or whatever because that's argumented. Pwede ta mag-argue but you're one of the more seasoned public officials having served as city councilor for several terms, including a stint as a barangay, punong barangay. Now, I'm just curious, and we're curious, what joy do you derive out of public service?
Yeah, this is the story, no? I do not know na napunta ko sa politics.
Yeah.
When I was right after I worked abroad. When I come home, no? Pag-uli na ako rin sa Dumaguete, especially in my barangay, there is a coming barangay election. So, ang mga katauhan mo yung nagdala pag yun akong certificate of candidacy in my residence to join the political exercise. So, mo ito, ako rin pong gipirmahan without any kuhan, nga ko nga baso lang, because at that time, in 1989, it was patas anay og botos, Doctor. Not you are running for a certain position. We both of us are running as a kagawad in the barangay.
Okay.
Whoever got the highest votes became a punong barangay.
Okay.
So I just signed the certificate of candidacy, and in fact, somebody mo pag yun nihato dito sa Comelec mo tong suguan ko nga pagtuod yun ko sa Comelec. So I went there.
Correct.
And then mao to start na sa akong political career nga when patabang ko sa Corps of Cadet Officers sa Foundation University because at the time nag-serve ko as their tactical officer. Then natabangan ko the Corps of Cadet Officers including the sponsors went to Barangay Palindagan and helped my candidacy.
Okay.
So at the time landslide and victory.
Now, Councilor, in your years as a city legislator, could you cite to us one or two major legislation that you have passed that basically made a positive and significant impact and a difference to the lives of your constituents here in Dumaguete City?
Yes. First, the 2001 zoning ordinance, which was started in the year 1998. By the way, Mayor Remolio and I, we have been elected together, but
correct.
At the time. So, but we have a very good talking term with the mayor. He's very kind to me, and we talk on because at the time, Dumaguete City can only construct two-story building because of their zoning ordinance in 1978, which was not amended. Mao paglingkod na ako, we started with Mayor Remolio to amend this one because I am the chairman of the Committee on Housing at the time, Committee on Trade and Industry, Committee on Engineering. I think I handled 4 committee at the time.
Okay.
So, ato na ning gamon because it's the right time that Dumaguete can build probably even 4-story building. And
okay.
That was our dream in 1998 because we are practicing the 1978. I would like to repeat 1978 zoning and land use plan of Dumaguete City.
Okay.
So we start the amending. Actually, it's an overhaul. Gi-overhaul na gyud to. Wala na gyud. Auto nakastart sa atong zoning ordinance which was implemented in 2001. Mao na karon naanatay mga tagas nga building. Another we are much very concerned of the environment. That was the first marine fish sanctuary which was declared in the same year of 1990, in the year 1990. So we are already concerned on the environment. We are already concerned on the infra development, more so on the economic development of the city of Dumaguete.
Do you segue ko na? Do you practically think that both economic and environmental development can go hand in hand yet?
Yes, that is one of our we think of it because while we are going to develop the city to become more to urbanize, or we want economically improve, we want also that the environment is go with us so that we can protect everything. That is why one of the major ordinances that we passed at the time is the integrated solid waste management, because we always believe, and I always believe, that we should also protect the underground water, because city of Dumaguete is just very much dependent on the underground water. That is why all those environmental measures, aside from economic development measures, we pass together so that we can really see and achieve the total development in the city of Dumaguete.
As concurrent city councilor of Dumaguete City, talk about the committees that you sit on right now as chairperson, and some of the major legislation that you have successfully enacted so far.
Well, as of the moment, I'm the committee chairman of the Committee on Engineering, Public Works, and Urban Planning of the city of Dumaguete. And one of my very much concern is to put up 3 different fire stations in the city of Dumaguete. So that when there is palayo lang, na sunog, the first, the one assigned in a certain barangay can respond immediately, no? And aside from that, I am always thinking that we could provide a better home or better house for our employees, and not only for the coming of the migration to the city of Dumaguete being the center of trade and commerce. I want also, if we provide them a shelter for the local migration that come to Dumaguete, much more we could also provide a decent home for our government employees. That's one of
Now, you are an engineer by profession, as you said, no? Do you think that your background as an engineer has helped you as a legislator or as a city councilor?
Well, if you really love your job, if you really love to serve the community, you must always think that because when I start as a barangay captain of Barangay Kalindagan, I do not know where to start. Being most of the members of our family is not inclined to any political professions at the time.
That's right.
So being what I learned from my course, what I learned from school, akong try to adapt it and try to implement it so that I could really serve the better in the community.
Now you've been a councilor for so many terms already, councilor, no? And you've gotten a hang of it already so far, no? And where do you basically get inspired when you do? I mean, are you inspired being a councilor? Are you inspired being able to help people in the community?
Yes, Doctor, being a public servant, happy to serve. That's always to say, because when I started, when I started as a barangay captain of Kalindagan, we received nothing. There is no honorarium at the time. Yes, it's purely public service to our community. So, marang nakaingon ko nga, Pastor, at the time, when before the implementation of the local government code of 1991, no among local elected barangay officials received a honorarium, not like after the 1991 implementation of the local government code. So it's really a public service. That's why in myself, my motto in myself is happy to serve.
Anyways, dear Councilor, let's talk about a pressing issue, no, which I'm sure our viewers from Banila de Mangnao are very, very keen and very, very interested on. This concerns the flooding in the Banila de Mangnao National Highway, and how your committee, as you said, you're the chairperson for the Committee on Engineering, no? your committee is working with the city executive. How do you intend to resolve this matter?
First, I was tasked by the mayor to look over this one.
Mhm.
So, together with the other personnel or other agency in the local government unit of Dumaguete, we went to the site.
Mhm.
We conducted an ocular inspection from
Mhm.
the boundary of Valencia and Dumaguete,
Mhm.
somewhere in Lagnasan in Cantil.
Mhm.
And then up to the S portion where up to the S portion of the Vanilla Creek, no, we find it out that the old creek was never seen again. Di na yun makita because
Okay.
it was passed through private property.
Okay.
So with that, I invited in the committee level meeting all the barangay captains of Manila and Mangnao.
Mhm.
I invited lot owners for themselves and I'm very thankful to them. Kaya ang mga lot owner, nangadtog yun dito, Doc, no? Nangadtog yun namin
Okay.
Dok Dinno. They bring their documents that we are the owner of a certain property because I told them this problem cannot be solved by Mayor Epe Remolio alone and
Yes.
myself. Let
Yes.
us work together because this is a community problem. And supposed to be that creek that served as a canal, nawala naman yun. Although it was passed through your private property but supposed to be dili unta na masirada. Baoto nga very much willing to cooperate and help with us. Baoto nga gi-conduct na to, gi-invite na to sila on the meeting and then karon identify all those areas legally na ana na rong ubang mga legal din ha sa ato sa atong legal office for their accusations, no? But on the side of the Sangguniang Panglungsod, through the order of the mayor nga you pass a track, kinahanglan mo gawas ang program of works, etc. etc. We do our homework in the city council. We able to pass the 8 million pesos, the 12 million until such time that the appropriation ready for that particular project is 25 million.
Yes.
So we are just waiting for a proper time that even the geodetic engineer, which is the city planning office, conducted already the sticking of nga anha mo agi ang atong drainage canal din ha atong creek, no. So yun na Doctor ang atong gibuhat karon and then I do not know if all the materials is ready for that particular project to go.
Yeah, you made mention that Mayor Ipe has allotted a total of 25 million. Am I correct? That's the allotment.
Yes, no.
Okay. From the this comes from the local disaster risk reduction and management fund.
Yeah.
Now, would this amount allotted by the city be enough to cover expenses involved, or would we need the Department of Public Works and Highways to also allocate funds to augment the local budget?
Well, if there is an augmentation coming from the national government, ato yung ilintan tayo because I know that 25 million cannot complete the project. That is why Mayor Remolio still very much open to allocate more funds for that. Kay moabre na gyud ta, Doc. That is why we are using our city geodetic engineering office nga atong ipakuha na siya og topographical survey so that we can really determine og pilay atong elevation from the point nga naa diha up to the east portion. So una nga we are welcome to that.
Now, being an engineer, what engineering interventions will be required to mitigate, if not prevent, further flooding of water in the area?
Well, first of all, that is why kahibalot nga kanang existing drainage canal cannot really cater the volume of water. Muna nga one of the engineering intervention to open up 5 meters with nga drainage. Muna ato niya, it will not dili na to paliko-likoon. It will pass through, it will cross to the national highway. Mo diretso gyud nadto sa baybayon, muna passing through the creek. Ato gyud siyang palapson. Muna atong palapdan ang creek from the existing now og nay nakita nato sa ubos nga 3 meters or 2.5, it will make into 5 because we are preparing for a very bigger volume of water coming from Valencia because this is a creek. Muna one of the engineering intervention unya atong abrihan, it will the water will not go kundili straight na ang iyang dalagan.
Now, I personally know that aside from being a city councilor, you are also a real estate developer. No? Now, how challenging is it for you to manage a company while serving with the government at the same time?
Yeah, yeah, it's always on a time management.
Correct.
I have a time
Yeah.
for my mandated elected position time, and I have a time for my own business. So it's a matter of time management so that both of them I could serve. I can serve honestly for the service of the public.
Now, you have served as councilor under different mayors, no? Each one with their own strengths, no? Without comparison or without comparing, what do you think are the strengths of Mayor Ipe Remolyo?
Well, Mayor Eperimolio is not just a visionary, but always project for the total development of the city.
Okay.
That is why, yes, I will not compare. I serve Mayor Epe, I serve Mayor Perdices, I serve Mayor Sagarbaria, and back to Mayor Epe. No?
No, okay.
When it comes to strength, Mayor Epe has a political will that really make Dumaguete a different one. Not just a traditional politicians, but more so. He wants to make Dumaguete as a center, as I said, being a center or a capital of the city. He wants everything to be developed. The academic, the infrastructure development, the human resource development, everything. That's the strength of Mayor Remolyo when it comes to be an executive of the city of Dumaguete.
Now, since day one, you have been a witness to the many accomplishments and developments that Mayor Ipe Remolyo has done for the city of Dumaguete. What particular accomplishment or what particular development aspect in the city have you personally witnessed that Mayor Remolyo and this administration has done that you are very proud of as a legislator?
Well, first of all, when it comes to, let us start with the human resource development.
Yes.
The city government employees now, through your leadership, we want to professionalize all of them.
Yeah.
And that is a very good development because we train them the so-called what you know but whom you know. Now it's the time that you are corrected it.
Yes.
Now, second, on the infra development project, the city of Dumaguete, you can see that aside from the development of the two Pantawan 1 and Pantawan 2, yes, which is the shoreline protection, you can see Dumaguete City has a very good, we have a good boulevard, but very small. Not like now that the entire portion now used as a boulevard of Dumaguete City, and it is one of its kind all over the country. Yeah. I am very proud of it because I know that the Pantawan 2 is one of its kind in the city and all over the Philippines. Yeah. The leadership under Mayor Ipe, as I said, I will not compare to the past executives that I serve, but the two bridges that the construction of the two bridges that was already completed and passable by the general public. That's a very good example of how the mayor really worked for it. Aside from the technology hub that was planned by the mayor to have it in the city of Dumaguete, so everything he wants to make Dumaguete a better place, a better economic development for the city and all others, so that Dumagueteños na makakuan sa yan kind of leadership that he had.
Councilor, you know for a fact that for every accomplished task, we still move forward and there are many more tasks that we have to do. No, so public service never ends. No, and there are still issues in the city government that needs to still to be addressed. And what do you think are these issues still that we need to address legislatively? Your end.
Legislatively, well, of course, we want to review all, we want to revisit all the previous ordinances that the council should pass. If possible, there should be codification on it, and then so that it is easy for the implementer to implement on it. And I know that Mayor EP and you, Doc, being in that position, makatabang yun mo, na we can professionalize everything in the city, no? And then another aspects, we want Dumaguete, if we are going to develop Dumaguete, we want to develop not only for the academic excellence, a good environment of the city, and then most of all, we want to have our very own. Probably we can make the improve the economic conditions of the city of Dumaguete by making it probably highly urbanized city, and then economically dependent on it. So that we can really serve the community well. We can really serve and cater all our young professionals for the job ni around ta sila sa Dumaguete. That is why let us support whatever visions, whatever plans of the mayor to make a better Dumaguete to live for another years to come.
I'd like you to share your thoughts. No, why is it important at this point in time in Dumaguete City, Councilor, that I mean, you know for a fact we're a third-class city, no? Why is it important? And you made mention that we need to be highly urbanized. This is the time to be highly urbanized. Why do you think we are on that point already that we really need to be highly urbanized? And what can it do for the lives of the constituents here in Dumaguete City?
Well, you know, most of the young graduates, we have a very good academic institution in the city of Dumaguete.
Yes.
Not to mention all these institutions. We produce many graduates. But what will happen after graduation? After getting some clearances from different schools, we went to a different city just to look for a job. Because that is why if we can make it a better Dumaguete, I hope that these people will understand us that we want to develop, we want to have more and more investors so that Dumaguete can be an independent economically to other cities. Dili na ta dependent. Kay, you know why, as of the moment, it is very much true nga we are still a third-class city.
Yes.
Oh, that is, munang baling lisura kayo, munang galantaw ko nga, I hope all these people and these young graduates will listen really unsay good for Dumaguete. Because if somebody talking of environmental concern, we done already 30 years ago. We done already with Mayor Ipe, we done already the development for environment. In fact, before we see already that Dumaguete needs environmental to protect our underground water. That is why there is a segregation of garbage that we passed before.
Correct.
So it is a matter na these young professionals, these young graduates should look back history and understand it and evaluate among themselves who among the chief executive better place to live, a better economic improvements and stable development so that they will be benefited on it. It is not your elected to serve. With my motto, happy to serve.
Anyways, Councilor, let me ask you, what are you most excited to be a part of the Lupad Dumaguete performance team of Mayor Ipe Romualdez?
Yeah, you know, what I am always looking, I'm look for a executive or a mayor for that matter who is always looking for the development of the entire city, not just a politically choose one. I seek it in the management of Mayor Remolio that ang layhan niya, everybody will be served, everybody will be protected. We are going to develop on the infrastructure development. There is all protection. Muna ako nakukulang tao na is see to it that the mayor walay gipabor-paboran sa iyang kind of management to the city, being the chief executive. We want to work it harmoniously with other public officials and be delivered directly to the people of Dumaguete and serve it in a better way.
Now, I'm sure that what Mayor has done and what his city administration has done and what the council has done since 2016 will have a ripple effect for the future. No? And with what Mayor Remolio's administration has been doing, how do you see Dumaguete City in the next 10 years?
Well, I'm looking back Dumaguete, if we can really improve other development, other infra development, more business. We invite more business investors to come to Dumaguete so that if we can invite them and we can make the Dumaguete City, it is beneficial of both city employees and other members of the community. If we can make Dumaguete a first-class city, I believe in the next 10 years, we can all the basic services that the dreams and aspirations of every Dumagueteños will be addressed by this administration. I believe so.
Councilor, well said. No? At this juncture, your message to the people of Dumaguete City?
Well, sa atong mga katawhan, ako yun yung inisaya, Dok, no? Sa atong mga katawhan sa defense sa Dumaguete para yun, ma-improve na to. Let us give another 3-year more one more term to Mayor Remolio to serve us 3 years so that whatever the mayor's plan for Dumaguete to improve economic improvements of the city, being the capital city in the province of Negros Oriental, dili lang ta mo claim that we are the capital city, but more so we want to develop the economic conditions of our city of Dumaguete nga mahimo tang highly urbanized in the next 3 years, hopefully with the cooperations of the people of Dumaguete City. And then because in a way, I know that you sent your children to school so that it can help to the family, because that is our Filipino tradition way. Nga, og makahuman ng eskwela, may na lang, before maminyo, makatabang mo sa inyong ginikdanan o makatabang sa manghod. Now, in this case, og naanay daghang employment opportunity directly in the city of Dumaguete. Inyong mga anak dili na muabag og balay, dili na muabag boarding houses. Ang ato kung pagkaon, ato kung nga matabangan, magkadagino ta, unya muna na'y tinuod nga nakatabang sila sa inyong pamilya. That is why give us another 3 years to serve you. And we assured the city, we assured the Dumagueteños nga what we are doing is not just a plan, but we are now implemented already. Because as I said, others are saying that we want to protect the environment. 30 years ago, we are already done on it. We are already done on the protection of underground water, because city of Dumaguete is always dependent on the underground water na atong gigamit gikan sa atong pag-inom, kaligo, panglaba, tanan ato na lang gihimo nadaan sa administrasyon ni Mayor Remolio. Then ato pagyundugangan for the next 3 years. Let us be in one, let us be together to give Mayor Remolio and the team of the PAD for another 3 years, and then evaluate our performance on this coming 3 years after the May 9 election, so that your family will be living together with you, and your children will not go to highly urbanized city like Bacolod, Cebu, Manila, Davao, but they stay in Dumaguete City because the employment and job opportunity within the city of Dumaguete through the able leadership of Mayor Ipi Remonio and the team Lupa.
Councilor Patrimonio, dagang salamat for being my guest tonight and sitting with me with this talk.
Thank you very much, Doctor, and have a good day.
Have a good day yourself, sir. That was our guest for tonight, si Councilor Manuel Patrimonio. And please do continue to like us at our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter accounts, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Talk with Dok Dinno, Dumaguete. So that's our show for tonight. I'm Dok Dinno. Be well, and let's keep talking.